So SmackDown this week wasn't very good. That's right, I've said it, it has to be said. Now you're going, oh, you're meant to be positive. Being positive doesn't mean you don't be honest with your audience, which is what I'm trying to do. Being positive just makes you go, you know what, it's wrestling, it doesn't matter. And if you liked it, then damn, everything's gonna be all right. But yes, for me, something has happened with WWE over the last couple of weeks. It's probably just a little bit of a lull, but it just feels a little bit creatively stifled, dare I say such a thing. And what really hit me on this week's episode of SmackDown was everything with Sami Zayn. Now, these things don't actually matter, and if you want to watch WWE or any kind of wrestling product as a week-to-week thing, that's totally fine, I would totally understand. But he interrupts Solo Sikoa, who's all mad or happy, I suppose, because he's still the US champion, and says, you cost me my match against Rusev on Raw, and I'm pretty sure if I'd won that, I was going to have a World Championship match, maybe in Paris. But instead, I've had myself transferred to SmackDown because I want to go after your US belt instead, because I've never been a US champion either. And I was like, wait a minute. Let's dial it back down. One, if you're one victory away from getting a World Championship shot, maybe stay on Raw, get 2 more victories, and you'll be back in there. Also, it's WWE TV, or it's just wrestling, it's sports entertainment. You can go up to Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce and go, ye's title shot, and they will give you a title shot. But also, a few months ago, and I understand there was manipulation, it was a heel going, and trying to trick Sami Zayn, he got offered the opportunity to go over to SmackDown to fight for the World Championship, or the WWE Undisputed title, and he turned it down because he was so steadfast on getting his job done on Raw. Now here we are, and this time he's like, man, I can't be bothered anymore. I'd rather go after this instead. It then got even more confusing because the main event was him teaming with Jimmy Uso and Jacob for 2, who are finally back on TV. And even though we made it very clear that it is going to be Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa for that championship, because Sami pinned Solo in the main event, Jacob for 2 seems perfectly fine with this, even though he got screwed over in a cage. Now, I may be jumping the gun there, because of course we had the backstage segment when Jacob wasn't so happy with Sam, but if he all of a sudden beats him up, that's a very heel-type maneuver. And when you're talking about baby faces who are established good guys, two of the first people that you may come to are Jacob for 2 and Sami Zayn. So just confusing. And the whole show lacked star power, which makes it feel mean about what I just said about all those people. I don't mean it that way, though. But it was almost like the World Championship doesn't exist. I know that Drew McIntyre was on there, which was massively important because he sold his feud with Cody Rhodes, which was excellent. And we'll talk about that in just 1 second. But because John Cena wasn't there as well, you can't have both your top baby faces off the show, and I understand it from both points of view. Cody was selling an injury. I think we needed to do that, and John Cena only has limited dates, but this is what I mean about I'm not 100% sure all of this has been planned out for the long term. I think the Sami Zayn thing may have been decided upon like yesterday, when no one actually realised that Cody and John weren't going to be on this episode, so we kind of just hit fast forward button and we tried to sort it out. Now listen, let's talk about something positive for now. Drew McIntyre was awesome here. Once again, just telling the truth all of the time. I was like, I didn't attack Cody Rhodes. He attacked me. Let's go back through what did happen. He took me to the outside. He was going to throw me through a table, and I just reversed the polarity, which is what happens. And he's also going like, oh, no one's talking about Cody's medical condition because he's the golden boy. I don't know whether that match is going to happen in Paris or not. When it does happen, Drew McIntyre is not going to win, but I think WWE should go out of their way to protect Drew, to use the right terminology. But he is great. You can give him anything, and he just turns into the most serious, the most important thing in the world. I said that on Ups and Downs as well. Make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling, and please do subscribe to me as well, and subscribe to my new fitness channel. I've given it a week just to sort of bed in, and now content is going to smash you in the face. If you want to get in shape in a nice way with no gym bro stuff, head over there. I'd massively appreciate it, because we are starting from scratch. My gosh, is that intimidating? But Drew did well here. It wasn't like an overly long segment. But you take that and then you compare it with the Women's Championship on SmackDown. I have no idea. Since SummerSlam, actually since WrestleMania, because we did it after WrestleMania 2, Tiffany Stratton just came and went and didn't really get a proper feud until Nia Jax had a mini one, and then I suppose the Jade Cargill thing, but that was only after King of the Ring or Night of Champions, so it's only like 3 weeks long, and now she just hangs out in the back yelling at Jade, and Jade yells at her, of all the people, we set up another Nia Jax Tiffany Stratton match, and I like all of them. I think they're all great, and I think they're all stalwarts of the women's division. But why would we go back to Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton? Tiffany has been over and over again. Even as a babyface, Tiffany could go, no, Nia, and that should be it. And Nick Aldis should go, no, Nia. Even Jay should go, Nia, I don't think you can get away with this. And Nia is great. She had a brilliant match with Last Legend on NXT this week, but it just feels greatly redundant is a bit strong. But why do we keep going back to everything? And that's what I mean, because we also went back to everything with The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. I thought we drew a line under that. And why would Carmelo Hayes agree? Carmelo Hayes should say no. Even here, after they had beaten Fraxium, which I also thought was a mistake, because these two guys don't like each other. Fraxium are an established team. Fraxium should have got the victory there. Carmelo Hayes goes to Nick Aldis and goes, can I have a US title shot? And the Miz sticks his nose in and goes, no, we're going to face the Motor City Machine Guns instead. Carmelo should go, that's not happening, all right? He's a heel too. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to win some singles, and we'll go from there. Now, moving the story out the way, thank goodness Carmelo Hayes is back on TV because he's brilliant, and the fans are behind him here. He got a great chant. But the Miz blind tagged himself in after a mega cut on Nathan Frazier by Mello, and he hit the skull crushing finale, got the 1-2-3. That is not a dude you need to team with when your goal, as you've established, is going after the US title. It doesn't make any sense. It is 2 + 2 = potato, which baffles me because WWE for, 3 years, maybe even 4 years, has been the opposite of that. Everything's made sense and everything ties into the past. And you can sit there like a massive nerd and go, oh my gosh, they've really thought about this stuff. I find it very, very confusing. And I may be wrong here. I'm not saying I'm right. This is how I've digested it. But you may be able to get in the comments below and say, actually, Simon, look at it this way. And I'll go, oh, yeah. That's the beauty of having these discussions. We can do it in a nice way. Or you can call me a bald idiot. Anything is fine. I love Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss as the tag team champions because they make me happy. And I love the Secret Service because they make me happy. Chelsea Green saying it's lucky she escaped injury because she got thrown into the cake. This is just what I need now. Just give me goofy stuff. And Alexa Bliss versus Piper Niven was fine. Of course, the whole show was riddled in distraction, interference, and confusion. Was there one that didn't have that? I don't think so. And the tag team matches didn't, I don't think. Or the Carmella one didn't. Maybe that was that. There was also another tag team match, which did, as B-Fab and Candice LeRae got into it, which is the DIY versus the Street Profits. Also very good. It's kind of bizarre. This is another reason we didn't need Mello and Miz as a tag team. I don't want to say SmackDown has too many tag teams. I said that earlier. It's like, well, you can't have too many. But when Raw doesn't have enough, you could separate it. So it feels bizarre that all of a sudden we would have a new tag team. Andrade and Phoenix, they've just vanished, by the way. They're not coming to work anymore. And the White Six kept sticking their faces in. And I like the White Six, but they do this and it doesn't go anywhere. So once again, you're like, well, after a while, it's the law of diminishing returns. I can't remember what I was talking about now. I took such a detour. Alexa Bliss beat Piper Niven, and then the Secret Service beat up Charlotte and Alexa. Fine, we can do the Secret Service taking on Charlotte and Alexa. Let's just keep these tag team titles on television. Something good always comes out of them because everybody involved works so damn hard. So I'm a huge fan of that. And then also compare that to poor Julia. Poor Julia's probably like, can I go back to NXT? Because you never have me on TV. Now she's got Kiana James as her manager, so Kiana just comes up and talks on her behalf, which is the last thing someone like Julia needs. I understand maybe WWE's not confident in her promo ability, but she could be like Io Sky before. I mean, Io Sky now is brilliant, but she sort of warmed into that role. Do the same with Julia. Small promo, she'll get more confident and she'll learn the language better, I suppose. Well, it doesn't need to. Sometimes Io Sky, especially Oscar goes off in Japanese. I'm like, I don't care what you're saying. You're the most badass person ever. I don't see why Julia couldn't do the same. But yeah, it's this Meechin then walked up and she wants a title shot, but who even knows if the US title even exists? Because it never gets on television. It's so bizarre. Selena Vega, she vanished into the distance. Chelsea Green just gave up on it. Man, I want to go back and win that. And I have no idea. I just have no idea what any of that is about. None of these people got to have any time in front of the cameras in the ring. I would just send them all out there to do promos. That's how you get better. Give them experience. And every time I say these, people go, oh, Simon, you didn't want SmackDown at 3 hours. It is not a time formatting issue, this. There was loads of time when you could have shaken things up and put people there and put people there. And also, they weren't doing it at 3 hours either. So I just don't get it at SmackDown at the moment. It's totally lost on me. I'm not mad about this, by the way. People go, oh, no, not at all. I'll finish this video and I'll go skip through some fields and I have a lovely day. It's professional wrestling. And also, realistically, one, not every show can be for me. If you think like that, you're usually a grifter or a narcissist, to be completely honest. But also, two, there's 52 weeks of programming a year. Not everybody can hit a home run over and over again. I'm just kind of lost in what SmackDown is trying to achieve. Also, no Damian Priest. I understand he got written off by Aleister Black, but nobody talks about that either. I think that should be mentioned. Big fan of the R-Truth stuff, because he did go from goofy to serious. We talked about this last week. There's no reason why you can't do that. But I just think US title in general, I know that Sami Zayn is going after it, but I mean, Aleister Black and Damian Priest were interested in it, and now they're not, and Carmelo is in this, like we've said, this weird middle area between everything. I just don't know. And also, there was a big, talking about the timing thing, we did get a big video for John Cena versus Logan Paul, which I do understand, but if neither of them are going to be on the show, I would just shelve that. Clash in Paris is 3 weeks ago. Wait, you've got plenty of time to build 2 weeks away. You've got plenty of time to build it next week, and you've already announced the graphic. I just knew when I got to the end of this, if somebody came up to me and said, what would you recommend? I'd be like, I'd just read it or watch Ups and Downs or listen to me talk about it. Like, there's nothing you actually needed to see here. And the only major information was Sami Zayn has moved to SmackDown and he's going after the US title. Everything else was kind of just there doing its thing, and some of it was good and some of it was not so good, but it wasn't required viewing. And once again, I understand not everything can be required viewing, but this one really did feel wishy-washy and just, I keep using the term, but it's the only time I can come up with, directionless. And actually, to tie into the video we did yesterday, which please do check out, if Karrion Kross is doing a work with WWE, bring him back on SmackDown and make him a big old face. I think he would fit in there perfectly right now. I'm not even sure what level he would be at. Maybe he can help Sami Zayn. I mean, I don't know if we want to do that or not. It feels a little bit on the nose. But yes, I didn't enjoy it. I think that's so unfair because I always find a way to enjoy wrestling. Like, even the bad stuff makes me laugh. But this one just felt a little bit empty. Like, again, it's an episode you can completely miss. There was nothing here that you needed to sit on. I don't necessarily think switching Sami Zayn and LA Knight was the correct thing to do. Don't mind LA Knight being on Raw, but I just think we need to kind of finesse things a little bit, especially because you just know, although they haven't said anything, so I could be wrong here, so I'll hold my hands up. If all of a sudden we do a draft and WWE tells me this is the most important thing ever, oh my gosh, who is going to cross the battle line? Well, who cares? Because people would just do it anyway, and that's another criticism I had. We have seen some people go, I really want to kick that guy's ass, but I can't because he's on Mondays and I'm on Fridays. Well, some people do it anyway, so it's on you. You were lazy. You were lazy, and you couldn't be bothered, so now I don't want to talk to you anymore. That's all I have to say about it. Again, it was a nothing episode of SmackDown. And again, not saying it in a bad way, not saying WWE sucks or anything like that. It's just how I felt on the day. Maybe they could have aired this in a month's time and I would have felt completely different about it. But it all depends on what came before and what came after, which is why the Jade Tiffany thing got to me so much. It was just like they've been arguing for a week. And why does Nick Aldis never have a main event prepared? He always comes out and goes, thank goodness you beefed in the opening promo segment, now I can main a main event. This is what I mean about the creative thing. Don't do the same thing over and over again. It's why I'm bored of distractions, interference, and confusion. We do it all over again. It's like DQs, do it all over again. Just come up with something new. Come up with something different, and everything will be okay. We don't have to have someone interfere in every single match. We just don't. We just don't. But please, I would love to know your opinions on this. That's just how I felt, and you can do a bunch of stuff with this video. You can like it, share it, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, and there's a bunch of information in the, what do we call that, a comment box? That's not right. The description box. You can check that out. Fitness channel we talked about, watch-alongs and other content, brand new paywalled content, whatever you want to call it, at patreon.com/Simon at 316. Grillermind.com/Simon, so I get 10% off. There's 30% off some pre-workout right now. Pre-workout is the best. My gosh, do I love them. Come say hello and how wrong I am at Simon Miller at 316. Cameos at Simon Miller, TikTok at Simon J. Miller, and Big Cartel and Pro Wrestling Tees for merchandise, mostly talking about being bald. Have a lovely weekend. I do appreciate you tuning in and caring what I have to say about it. I'd love to hear your opinions too, genuinely, because you could see it completely differently, and that's the kind of stuff that makes the world go round. Have a great day. See you soon.